in the struggle for our union. There is victory.
The Pension Reform Act of 2004 introduced the contributory pension scheme, where both employers and employees contribute to retirement savings. But several oil and gas companies were exempted, operating their own closed pension fund administrators, where only employers fund the pensions. Now, many retirees say their benefits have lost value due to rising inflation and stagnation adjustment.
Of the CPFAs, you went to have the best practices, and you heard what the Total Energies just said, that as Pegasus negotiate, a good portion outside the appraisal component, and a larger portion of it, we go to the retirees. So what that means is that if you negotiate, let's assume 60%, and let's say 10% is for appraisal, 50% is for general income. That 50%, for example, will go to the retirees. So that is what happens in Total Energies CPFA today. But if you look at the other CPFAs, the retirees are at the mercy of the management. So most of these management, they are not really responsive. In fact, the CPFA grows. The CPFA is growing above inflation in some cases, but they don't pay the such difference to the retiree.
Industry experts say some CPFAs still operate without regular reviews, leaving retirees behind despite strong company profits.
If you look at the number, because you have a significant number on the other side of 12,000, even if you say you want to do just 100,000 naira increments, what you see is that you're going to do almost like 30% of your current wage bill. So the major way we've looked at, we did some increments in 2024, but basically to look at those people who are really on the lower cadre and how to bring them up. Because even while you're doing something like 100,000 for some people, it's still not impactful. So it's necessary that even if we're going to do any form of increment, it has to be looked at properly and ensure that you don't end up affecting the sustainability.
The National Pension Commission, PENCOM, says it is stepping up monitoring to ensure CPFAs align with global best practices.
Monies are there. Will they continue to be there? There is quite that separation of powers in the industry. Those that manage the money, the administrators, are different from those that keep the money, the custodians. And pension maintains a line of sight on where the money is kept. We need to ensure that those that keep the money are consistently reviewed to be sure that even though they qualified yesterday, they still qualify today to keep the money. We see that banks are constantly looked at and their capitalizations are reviewed. PENCOM needs to start looking at that space also to ensure that custodians are still qualified, because it's one thing to manage the money, it's another thing that when the money is needed, it is available to be disbursed.
As of September 2025, there are 4 licensed closed pension fund administrators in Nigeria, down from the initial 7, managing assets worth over 2.71 trillion. These CPFAs are primarily linked to large corporations in oil, gas, and telecommunications and banking. CPFAs must explore alternative, impact-driven asset classes such as green bonds, infrastructure funds, and real estate investment trusts that not only generate returns but also support national development goals.
While the CPFA system remains a legacy model in Nigeria's oil and gas sector, stakeholders insist it must evolve to protect workers' pension against economic hardship. Habiba Tajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.